Hey there everybody, Craig Cook with Acre Mortgage, and I wanted to go over 5 credit items that could prevent you from buying a house. So these are all the negative things, all the bad things that could hurt you in trying to get financing. So one of the main ways that would prevent you from buying a house would be delinquent payments. Any account that you have on your that reports to the credit bureaus, any creditor that you're paying back, most of the time they're not going to report late payments to the credit bureaus unless you're 30 days or more late past the billing date. Okay, if you go 30 days or more late past the billing date, they're going to put something on your credit report like it's called a 1 times 30, or if you're 60 days late, it's called a 1 times 60, and that's lingo in the mortgage industry for credit latenesses. But essentially, if you go more than 30 days late or 60 days late, it's going to count negative against you. And underwriters and loan guidelines, they don't like having 30-day late payments. So avoid being more than 30 days late on any accounts that you owe, and that's going to help manage your credit, help you manage your credit properly. Underwriters look back to 24 to 36 months in most cases. Not saying that they don't go further than that, but 24 to 36 months are the most important. The last 24 to 36 months are most important. So make sure that you're keeping your history good within that 24 or 36 months, and try not to have any delinquent payments during that time frame. And they also check for patterns. So if you have an isolated incident, an incident where, let's just say you were injured, or you had a problem where you were laid off of work, and you have a time frame of which you were missing bills or you had delinquent payments, an underwriter is going to look at that and look at that more favorably than, let's say, somebody that has sporadic latenesses. Lateness in June of 2013, and then again in September 2013 without any real explanation. You always have to have some reasoning or explanations to what is going on with delinquent payments, and if you have patterns of reoccurring delinquencies, that's not good with helping you get financing. Second important thing about credit items, or second credit item that would prevent you from getting financing, would be public record items. Judgments, foreclosures, bankruptcies, they're all essentially not good for you trying to get a home loan. I can say that judgments, if you have these paid off, there is no delay in financing, as long as in most cases these are not showing up on your credit report, or not, if they are paid off, then you would be able to get financing. So as long as these items, judgments, are paid off, you can still get financing. Foreclosures, there's usually a time delay when you can get financing, and the same thing with bankruptcy. So each loan type prevents you from doing financing in a certain time. So in the case of, let's say for example, an FHA loan, a Chapter 7 bankruptcy would prevent you from having financing for 24 months from the discharge date unless there was an exception. Foreclosures, if you had a foreclosure of some sort, it would prevent you from getting financing for 36 months with an FHA loan. And just make sure, if you have any of these public records, it's not to say that you won't be able to get financing, but make sure that you establish credit after these major delinquencies or major public records, and that you're not going late on everything after that. So if you had a bankruptcy, and you had to establish credit, they want to see that you've established credit, and after the bankruptcy you've established credit, and that you're not having any delinquencies after that. Okay? Third thing that would affect or prevent you from buying a house would be high credit balances. If you have credit cards and you're maxing these out to the limits of what you're borrowing or what you're allowed to borrow, it could do a couple different things. One, it could drop your credit score. So if you notice, if you pull your credit score and your balances are very close to whatever it is that you can borrow on your credit cards, that your credit score will drop. So you don't want to spend towards your limit. You always really want to keep your credit card balances at 30% or less of whatever it is that you're allowed to borrow, which would help your credit score and give you as many points as possible. Another thing that would hurt you as far as high credit balances is your debt to income ratio. Anytime that you are going up in the balance of your loan or your credit card, it's going to increase your minimum payment. So your minimum payment is based off of an interest rate that's based off of what you owe to that creditor. So if you have higher balances, you're inevitably going to have a higher minimum payment, which is going to reduce the amount of money that you can borrow to purchase a house. The fourth thing is student loans. Now, the reason why I have a question mark here is because in certain cases, student loans can be omitted as debt against you. Conventional loans, these we have to count against you. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter whether or not your student loans are deferred or they're in forbearance or whether you're in school. We have to calculate a monthly payment against you. So somebody that's just out of college that wants to purchase a house using a conventional loan, we have to incorporate that student loan debt against you. With FHA, you don't. As long as you provide evidence to us that you won't have to make your first payment on any student loan 12 months after the purchase date of your home, then you can omit that as debt against you. So that's why I have a question mark here, because in certain cases, student loans can hurt you with a conventional loan, hurt your buying power in a sense. And FHA, as long as you have that deferment period, it won't count against you. Fifth thing is collections and profit and losses. Okay, in most cases, anytime that you have collections or profit and losses, these are negatives against you. An underwriter doesn't want to see a ton of these things against you on your credit report because it shows that you don't have the ability to pay people back on time or that you're in trouble credit-wise. So I always say if you have more than $1,000 in total collections and profit and loss accounts, then you're not in a good situation. So it's best that you clear up as many of those as you can before you attempt to get financing. Medical collections, these things aren't going to prevent you most of the time to be able to buy a house. It just, again, comes back to the point of whether there's patterns of you having medical collections. So if it's an isolated incident, in most cases it's going to be okay that it's outstanding, regardless of the balance, okay, as long as we can provide evidence that it was a one-time event. But if there's patterns of it reoccurring and there's a real issue, they're going to investigate more into that. So, again, 5 things, 5 credit items that would prevent you from buying a house or try to prevent you or can prevent you from buying a house. Hopefully you learned something here and you like, comment, share this video with your friends. If you ever need help with financing, please reach out to me. You can inbox me on Facebook at, you can friend me first, www.facebook.com/Craig.cook.395. You can email me at ccook@acremortgage.com. Or you can call me or text me on my cell phone, 856-986-7896. Stop by my website, www.craigcookloans.com, and hopefully this video was informational. Leave some comments. Tell me what other topics you'd like to talk about or maybe you'd like to get information on. I'd be more than glad to help you out. Thanks again, and catch you on the next video.